Imagine how different your life would be if people's words, opinions, criticism, and behavior no longer had the power to disturb your peace. Most people spend a large portion of their lives reacting emotionally to things they cannot control. A rude comment ruins their day. A disagreement fills them with anger. A disrespectful person consumes their thoughts for hours or even days. But what if there was another way to live? What if you could remain calm regardless of what others say or do? The truth is that emotional freedom is possible. It doesn't come from controlling other people. It comes from learning to control yourself. In this video, you'll discover how to never get angry or bothered by anyone and develop a mindset that protects your inner peace. The first thing you must understand is that anger often comes from expectations. We expect people to be respectful, honest, reasonable, and fair. When reality doesn't match our expectations, frustration appears. We become upset because people fail to behave the way we think they should. But the world doesn't operate according to our expectations. People will disappoint you. Some will lie, criticize, gossip, and act selfishly. The sooner you accept human nature, the less power other people's behavior will have over your emotions. Acceptance doesn't mean approval. It means understanding reality as it is. Another important lesson is realizing that most people's behavior has very little to do with you. When someone is rude, angry, or disrespectful, many people immediately take it personally. They assume they are being attacked. But often, the behavior reflects the other person's internal struggles. An unhappy person spreads unhappiness. An insecure person spreads insecurity. A stressed person spreads stress. Understanding this changes everything. Instead of reacting emotionally, you begin to observe behavior objectively. You stop carrying burdens that belong to someone else. One of the biggest reasons people get angry is because they feel the need to win every argument. They want to prove they're right and make others admit they're wrong. But intelligent people understand that not every disagreement deserves a response. Some people are not interested in truth. They are interested in protecting their ego. Arguing with such individuals is often a waste of time and energy. The moment you stop needing to win every argument, you gain an incredible amount of peace. Sometimes, silence is stronger than any response you could give. Another powerful principle is learning to create a pause between an event and your reaction. Most people react instantly. Someone says something offensive and they immediately become angry. Someone criticizes them and they instantly become defensive. Emotionally strong people develop the ability to pause. They take a breath. They observe their emotions without acting on them. This small gap gives them control. Instead of being controlled by emotions, they choose their response consciously. The Stoic philosophers taught that we are disturbed not by events themselves, but by our interpretation of those events. Two people can experience the exact same situation and react completely differently. One becomes angry, while the other remains calm. Why? Because their interpretations are different. When someone insults you, you have a choice. You can view it as a personal attack, or simply as another person's opinion. Your reaction depends on the meaning you assign to the event. Mastering this principle is one of the most powerful ways to protect your peace. Another lesson is understanding that anger often hurts you more than the person you're angry with. When you carry resentment, frustration, and bitterness, you suffer emotionally, while the other person continues living their life. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to become sick. Mentally strong people recognize this truth. They refuse to allow other people's actions to control their emotional state. Forgiveness is not about excusing bad behavior. It is about freeing yourself from unnecessary suffering. People who rarely get angry also understand the importance of perspective. Many things that seem important in the moment become meaningless over time. Ask yourself a simple question whenever something upsets you. Will this matter a year from now? In most cases, the answer is no. The argument, criticism, mistake, or inconvenience that feels overwhelming today will soon be forgotten. Remembering this helps you avoid wasting energy on trivial problems. Another powerful habit is focusing on what you can control. Most anger comes from trying to control things outside of your influence. You cannot control other people's opinions, actions, attitudes, or decisions. You can only control your own thoughts, actions, and responses. The more energy you invest in things you can control, the less frustrated you'll become by things you cannot. This shift creates a sense of calm and personal power. Emotionally resilient people also learn not to seek validation from everyone. If your self-worth depends on other people's approval, you'll constantly be vulnerable to criticism and rejection. Someone's negative opinion can instantly ruin your mood. But when your confidence comes from within, criticism loses much of its power. You understand that your value does not change because someone dislikes you or disagrees with you. Another important lesson is choosing your environment carefully. Some people thrive on drama, conflict, and negativity. Spending too much time around such individuals can drain your energy. Protecting your peace sometimes means limiting exposure to toxic influences. This isn't weakness, it's wisdom. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't have to engage with every negative person you encounter. As you continue practicing these principles, you'll notice something remarkable. Situations that once triggered anger begin to lose their power. Insults feel less personal. Criticism feels less threatening. Difficult people become easier to understand. You stop reacting impulsively and start responding thoughtfully. This is the beginning of emotional mastery. At the end of the day, never getting angry or bothered by anyone doesn't mean becoming emotionless. It means becoming stronger than your emotions. It means refusing to let other people control your inner state. It means understanding that your peace is too valuable to be handed over to every rude comment, disagreement, or negative opinion. The strongest people are not those who can defeat others. The strongest people are those who can master themselves. When you learn to control your reactions, accept reality, focus on what you can control, and stop taking everything personally, you develop a level of peace that very few people ever experience. And once you reach that level, something powerful happens. The world may remain chaotic. People may continue acting foolishly. Criticism may still exist. But none of it can disturb your inner peace unless you allow it. That's the secret to never getting angry or bothered by anyone. And it's a skill that can completely transform your life.